I would like to highlight a few key points of our performance for the year. Firstly, there has been a 189% increase in standalone profit after tax from 702 crores for the quarter ended 31st March 2016 to 2,025 crores for the quarter ended 31st March 2017. The net interest margin or NIM in FY17 was 3.25%, and the NIM for Q4 2017 was actually quite robust at 3.57% compared to 3.12% in the third quarter of FY17. The growth in fee income has also improved substantially from 3.8% year-on-year in the first half of FY17 to 10.4% year-on-year in the second half of FY17. The operating profit increased by 11% year-on-year. There was a robust growth in banks' CASA deposits during the year. There was an accretion of 53,722 crores to the CASA deposits for the year. The year-on-year growth in CASA deposits was 27.8%. The bank's CASA ratio has increased to 50.4% on 31st March 2017. We undertook a number of technology initiatives during the year, including many more services on iMobile, UPI-based payments, the EasyPay mobile application for merchants for collecting payments, and the Mera iMobile application, which is really for the rural customers. Some of the transaction numbers show a very robust growth. The number of mobile banking transactions doubled in FY17 compared to FY16. The value of mobile banking transactions increased by 168% in FY17. The number and the value of debit card transactions at POS terminals increased by 75% and 66% respectively in FY17. Over 3 million UPI virtual payment addresses have been created using the bank's mobile platforms, and the bank has acquired over 110,000 merchants till 31st March 2017 using the EasyPay application. Digital channels like internet, mobile banking, POS and call center now account for 79% of the savings account transactions compared to 71% in the beginning of the year. The bank maintained a strong focus on reorienting its balance sheet towards lower risk and more granular portfolio during FY17. The overall domestic loan growth for the bank was very healthy at 14% year-on-year. This is about 8% higher than the rate of growth of non-food credit for the banking system as a whole. The growth for the bank continues to be driven by retail business. The retail business grew 18% for us year-on-year, and the share of retail loans in total loans has now exceeded 50%. It is now 51.8% as on 31st March 2017. We also continue to focus on resolution and exposure reduction in identified areas. At the beginning of the year, we had reported the bank's exposure comprising both fund-based and non-fund-based outstanding to companies that were internally rated below investment grade in key sectors, that is power, iron and steel, mining, cement and rigs, and also to promoter entities rated below investment grades with underlying to these key sectors. I'm happy to say that there has been a net reduction in exposure and rating upgrades of approximately 5,630 crores in this portfolio during FY17. Coming to the additions to NPA, the additions to NPA had actually been gradually declining for the first 3 quarters of the year. They declined from 8,249 crores of rupees in Q1 to 8,029 crores in Q2 to 7,037 crores in Q3. During Q4 2017, the additions to NPA have been elevated. Out of the additions to NPAs during Q4, rupees 5,378 crores was due to one account in the cement sector. This account was included in the drill down exposures to key sectors which was disclosed by the bank. An M&A transaction has been announced in respect of this company. While the transaction has received most of the requisite approvals, including the approvals from NCLT also, but it is still awaiting certain last mile approvals, due to which the transaction could not be concluded by 31st March 2017. As a result, the bank has classified the account as NPA as per the bank's application of the relevant RBI guidelines. Additions to NPAs in Q4 2017, excluding this cement sector account, were 5,911 crores. The bank expects part of the loan to be upgraded on conclusion of the transaction. Coming to our subsidiaries, the bank continued to demonstrate and unlock the value created in its subsidiaries in FY17 with the successful IPO of ICICI Life, in which the bank has divested 12.6% shareholding in the company. ICICI Life had a market capitalization of 57,500 crores approximately on 2nd of May 2017. The bank has 54.9% shareholding in ICICI Life, and that is therefore valued at about 31,600 crores. ICICI Life maintained its market leadership position amongst the private players based on retail weighted received premium, with the new business market share of 12% in FY17 compared to 11.3% in FY16. The new business margin has also been continuously improving, which was 5.7% in FY15 to 8% in FY16 and further to 10.1% in FY17. The Indian embedded value also increased from 13,939 crores on 31st March 2016 to 16,184 crores on March 31st, 2017. ICICI General also continues to be market leader amongst the private sector players and has a market share of 8.4% in FY17. The gross written premium of ICICI General grew by 32% to 10,960 crores, and the profit after tax increased by 38.5% to 702 crores in FY17. The profit after tax of ICICI Mutual Fund increased by 47.2% to 480 crores in FY17. With average assets under management of more than 2,40,000 crores, the ICICI AMC continues to be the largest mutual fund in India. The profit after tax of ICICI Securities was 339 crores in FY17 compared to 239 crores previous year. ICICI Securities continues to be the largest online retail broking platform in India, and the company has significantly strengthened its institutional broking and investment banking franchise during FY17. The profit after tax of ICICI Primary Dealership Company was 412 crores in FY17 compared to 195 crores in FY16. So considering all this, the consolidated profit after tax was 2,083 crores in the fourth quarter of FY17 compared to 407 crores in the same quarter last year. For the full year of FY17, the consolidated profit after tax was 10,188 crores compared to 10,180 crores in FY16. The bank's capital position continues to be strong. The Tier 1 capital adequacy ratio is at 14.36% on 31st March. The bank's standalone earnings per share was strong at 16.84 rupees. The board has recommended a dividend of 2.5 per share and an issue of bonus shares in the ratio of 1 equity share for 10 equity shares. The declaration and payment of dividend and issue of bonus shares are subject to requisite approvals, and the record and book closure dates will be announced in due course. So with this, the ICICI Group has a strong market position across banking, insurance, asset management and securities, and therefore we are a leader catering to a full spectrum of customer requirements, be it savings, investments, payments, transactions, credit, protection and advisory services. We continuously invest in building our franchise. We have a large size, we have a large capital base, we have a robust funding profile, an extensive distribution network, a diversified portfolio and a leadership in technology. And this positions us well to take advantage of growth opportunities across the economy. Thank you. I can now take your questions.
Good evening, ma'am. Good evening, ma'am. This is Livita from BTVI. Congratulations on your results.
Thank you.
I want to understand, given that there's still about 19,000 crore left on your drill down list, how much of this could you just help us understand is provided for, and how much more provisioning do you expect is still to come?
Well, out of the drill down list which was there at the beginning of the year, about 20,000 crores has already been made NPA, and there has been a recovery of more than 5,000 crores, recovery plus upgrades, and that is how the residual list is at 19,000 crores. So in that sense, more than half of the list is kind of taken care of. We cannot really give a forward-looking statement on the balance list, but as we said that we continue to work on resolution on cases which are already made NPA and the cases which are not yet turned NPA.
Good evening, I'm Neha Bothra from EarningsWithETNOW. Could you give us a sense of how you see credit costs going forward, or how do you read it in the coming quarters?
So if we look at first the, since you're talking of credit, I'll talk of everything starting from assets. So as I said, our domestic asset growth rate was 14% for the FY17, and we expect this growth rate to be 15 to 16% even in the coming year, which will be led by a retail growth rate of 18 to 20%. Of course, a lot depends on how the entire industry growth rate pans out, but we have been growing substantially higher than the industry growth rate. As far as additions to NPA are concerned, while there would be additions to NPA even in the coming year, but we expect that the additions to NPA should be substantially lower than the additions in FY17. The credit costs will of course be a result of not just the new additions to NPA, but also additions on the aging linked provisions of the previous year. But we also expect that the credit cost should be lower than FY17.
Any band you could indicate?
No, I think we really do not want to make forward-looking statements getting into numbers, but I can only talk about the trend.
Hi ma'am, from मैम ये पूछना चाहेंगे कि इस क्वार्टर में जो राइट ऑफ किए गए हैं ऑलमोस्ट 5,300 करोड़ 5,400 करोड़ के आसपास है, वो थोड़ी ज़्यादा लगे तो मेजर वजह रही है क्योंकि पिछले क्वार्टर्स में हमने इतने ज़्यादा राइट ऑफ नहीं देखे हैं, और एक क्लैरिफिकेशन चाहिए था, आपने मेंशन किया था कि NPAs और NPLs को आप डिफरेंटली देखते हो, तो उस पर थोड़ा क्लैरिफिकेशन।
तो जो राइट ऑफ्स हैं, यू आर राइट, क्वार्टर 4 में जो नंबर आपने कहा वो है, पर एक्चुअली हर क्वार्टर ये नंबर अलग अलग रहता है। बैंक की एक राइट ऑफ पॉलिसी है और वो पॉलिसी हर क्वार्टर एंड पे अप्लाई की जाती है, और उस हिसाब से जो अकाउंट्स जो उसमें फिट होते हैं, जितना राइट ऑफ होता है उस हिसाब से राइट ऑफ लिया जाता है। मैं कोई डिटेल्स नहीं देना चाहूँगी, लेकिन ये भी कह सकती हूँ कि टेलीकॉम में नहीं था, तो बट वी डोंट गिव फर्दर डिटेल्स, बट एज आई सेड ये अमाउंट हर क्वार्टर में काइंड ऑफ चेंज होता है। और जो आपने NPL और NPA की बात की, ये स्टैंडर्ड डेफिनेशंस हैं, दो डेफिनेशन रहते हैं, एक रहता है नेट परफॉर्मिंग ऑन द लोन्स और दूसरा रहता है नेट परफॉर्मिंग ऑन टोटल कस्टमर एसेट्स। सो एक NPA रेशियो रहता है, एक NPL रेशियो रहता है।
गुड इवनिंग मैम, मैम मैं आपसे थोड़ा सा बताना चाहूँगी, ड्रिल डाउन लिस्ट जो आप बता रही थी, क्या वो एक्सपैंड हुई है, और जो अभी आपके जो ड्रिल डाउन लिस्ट में जो आप अकाउंट्स हैं या जो कुछ नंबर्स हैं, क्या आप उनको आपको देख कर उनका स्लिपेजेस होने का?
नहीं, इनफैक्ट जैसा कि हमने कहा कि जो 44,000 ड्रिल डाउन लिस्ट थी, उसमें पहले तो अप्रॉक्सीमेटली 5,000 करोड़ का रिडक्शन हुआ है, क्योंकि उसमें रिकवरीज हैं, एक्चुअली कुछ अपग्रेड्स हैं, कुछ थोड़ा सा डाउनग्रेड भी है, बट उस डाउनग्रेड को नेट ऑफ करके भी 5,000 करोड़ की इम्प्रूवमेंट हुई है। एंड देन ऑफ कोर्स 20,000 करोड़ इज NPA, दैट्स व्हाई जो फाइनल नंबर है वो 19,000 करोड़ है।
Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/ETNow and don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at ETNowLive. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/ETNow.